Surender Singh Lali, coming to you and talking, it's not just about the uneducated within the Pakistani leadership. When you have the Oxford and the Cambridge educated Bilawal Bhutto, who comes out and said that there is going to be bloodshed. I mean, that's your inciting hate, inciting terror, all for the pressure that is on you because of India taking those strong steps, and there is going to be a complete economic collapse after the Indus Water Treaty has been halted by India.
Thank you, Megha. And as Ambassador Stokely rightly said, he used the word uneducated and illiterate, but I'm going to just keep the uneducated bit for the diplomats and the illiterate bit for the journalist. And through your prestigious channel, I'm going to respond as a proud Indian Sikh that on Sama TV yesterday, quote opens, one of their top journalists says, Pakistan has displayed the Sikh card by keeping Kartarpur open for Sikhs. We have done this to fuel Hindu-Sikh rift in India, quote close. So that ought to give you the idea of the level of journalism. Forget the diplomats, because they don't even know 101 of Sikhism. I mean, Sikhism is a religion which is our gurus purely sacrifice their children for the sake of religion and motherland. And my reply as a Sikh to them is that no, thank you. For us, our country comes way before our religion. I mean, Nanak, really said throughout his life, his biggest message was that humanity is the biggest religion, and what they did in Pahalgam was absolutely inhumane. And, now in the diplomatic bit, Megha, I've been traveling the world for about 30 years and pretty much as a non-diplomat, but as a student of geopolitics, I have stayed and dealt with many Pakistanis across the world, and purely based on my experience, I think after Nigeria, or maybe they've beaten Nigeria, they're some of the biggest crooks, scamsters, and drug peddlers across the world, and not to mention the grooming gangs in England. And now I'll tell you the reason for this also. There was a book fest in Lahore just 4 months ago. And at the Lahore Book Fest, there were 1,200 shawarmas, 800 biryanis. Now, any guesses for how many books were being sold? 35 books. So if this is the kind of investment they are making in their education, obviously then the way their diplomats and defense attaches and the journalists are behaving ought to be like this. I mean, a country with the 78 years of its existence, only 7 years has their income been more their expenses. It's a begging bowl country, which is purely based, and the very inception was on the basis of religious bigotry. And I was no surprise that, I think the embassy staff really came prepared, because the big cutout that they had, I'm not too sure if they have those professional printers in the embassy. So they came prepared with the photograph of our Abhinandan in it.
No, but it is shameful what they portray and go gaga over and pride themselves as a victory was the fact that they captured Abhinandan Vardhaman on that fateful day, and spreading false narratives that were being bought by the likes of BBC and New York Times, that there were 2 trees and a crow that were hit in the surgical strike, the Balakot surgical strike. So this is their level, which is deplorable. That to make things clear, they had to release Abhinandan because of the protocols of the convention that is that has to be adhered to at the international level.
Megha, if you watch their recent minister who was on an English channel, an American channel, I believe Sky, I found that
British.
More hilarious. I mean, forget the journalists and the diplomats. I mean, it was hilarious because my 17-year-old son has more logic and rationality in his conversation, and I'll just complete in 60 seconds. Quote opens, he says that Pakistan is a victim of terrorism for decades. No other country in the world has suffered as much as Pakistan. And then in the same breath, lo and behold, he says, we have been backing, supporting, funding, and doing the dirty work for 3 decades, and that was a mistake. So for me, which I also said on another channel yesterday, this is similar analogy to a young child who murders both his children and then goes to court to plead clemency because he's an orphan. So that country is absolutely messed up. I don't think the right hand knows what the left hand is doing. No prime minister has ever completed a term. The current most famous guy who got the maximum votes is sitting in jail. And one last point is, if you notice that when Pulwama happened, that time Asim Munir was the DG ISI. And now, after that hate speech and then Pahalgam, so there is all a method to the methodology because they have failed. Their armies also failed. I mean, the entire army is Punjabi influenced, and now Imran Khan's party has even dug a hole into that. So the whole country is one big nautanki and a drama and a headache and a cancer on the face of earth. And I'm so happy that our Honorable Prime Minister has a strategy, and it's only a matter of time. And I think what's killing them also is that they don't know what's coming their way, and what's coming their way is going to be huge. The entire world is going to witness that, and it's about time that Pakistan is put back on this place.